Okay, hello, how is everyone doing? This is a quick introduction to Managebac here at Renaissance College. We're going to go ahead and cover a few steps. The first thing you need to do actually is go to the school website. And if you see it up here, it's rchk.managebac.com/login. I don't think you need the login part, but that should take you right where you see this. Go ahead and plug in your regular school credentials that you use for email, and then go ahead and sign in. Once you sign in, you're going to see like what looks like a dashboard, and we'll go ahead and kind of plug away at it. Okay, so it depends on where your Managebac opens up at, but we're going to kind of hover over here. If you see up here, it says blog, dashboard, profile, IB manager, and then classes. We're going to focus on classes right now. Your classes should have been plugged in for you right now. So if you hover over this tab, you should see at least a minimum of 1 and maybe up to 6 classes you have, depending on how many you teach. And you can go ahead and select it to start tinkering with it. But if you want to go to find somebody else's classes, double click on the classes button. And then you can see your classes too. But down here you can see a filter. And if you wanted to, let's say, find a humanities class, or just go in and then scroll down, and then you could go ahead and find it that way too. But for now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to edit a class that I currently have set up. Okay, so I'll just click on this. Okay, when you first select a class, you're greeted with usually 4 little circles. Add students, create MYP unit plans, and add tasks. There's usually another one called setup class. It would look something like this course, since I have not set this course up. So let's go ahead and pretend that we're going to go ahead and set it up. If you already did set up your class and you want to edit it, this button over here will let you go back into a previous class. So let's pretend that this is our very first starting point, and go ahead and click on the button down here. And here you can go ahead and edit information. You don't really want to touch the section of class ID. That should be set up for you. You can add a description, an announcement, log class, files, etc. etc. You can also, if you wanted to delete the class, this is the option over here. You're probably not going to. Also, you can go ahead and select the class photo that you put up here for an image if you want to upload it. If you click on teachers right next to it, you can go ahead and add a teacher if you'd like, if you're co-teaching. And just make sure that obviously the green button, you have to save changes to make sure whatever you do sticks. If you keep moving to the right, you have grades. And in here is just an arbitrary grade scale that you can go ahead and change depending on how you grade. If you keep going to the right, you have task categories. And click here. These are already punched in, but they might not have anything to do with your current class. So you can go ahead and edit these if you want and call them something else. So let's say playback. And then you can change the color if you wanted to too, if that's what you want. And you can even add a new one if you so choose to. Call this one new one. Oops. Okay, and then you can select a color. Obviously, if you wanted to save the changes, and then if you wanted to delete that one after the changes were made, then you can go ahead and delete it and then save changes. And that one should be gone too. Notice next to summative, you have formative, and you can click on that. And you can also edit or delete these different categories too. Okay, so that should get you set up here to your class setup. And now you notice that that one circle is now gone, like the previous class. If again I wanted to edit it, I would just go here to the right and edit the class settings again if I needed to. But I'm pretty happy with that now, so I will return to class. Now we need to add some students. Notice that if you click on these links, you still have to click on the button down below. Okay, so go ahead and click on Add Students. And unfortunately, your students were not brought in with the courses, so you have to go ahead and add them manually at this time. That may change. So if you have a roster or a list that you know the students, you can go ahead and select them, and we just click on them and add selected students. This part's a little bit confusing because you click on, let's say, Jennifer here, and it takes you to her, but what if you want to add more students? It's not very intuitive. So if you look over here, if you click on the student button, still doesn't let you do it. So what you got to go over here, it's, you know, if it was a snake, it would have been you, right? But click on that, and that will let you go ahead and add some more students if you like. And then if you don't, if you want to delete, if a student leaves your class, you can remove that student from that class, okay? All right, so if we go back to Overview, and you'll notice that one circle has been removed. So now we're at one of the big kahunas here that creates MYP unit plan. So I go ahead and click on this button down here. And we can go ahead and you can just start going through and creating your units. Most of you are going to be bringing your units that you probably use already. So let's say I'm going to call this Investigate. Okay. And you can go ahead and however long it's going to be, 3-4 weeks, when it's going to start, and then save changes. All right, and you should see something up here that says unit has been successfully created. Now, if you made a mistake and you don't like it, you can go ahead and delete the unit right here. And if you press delete, you're going to get this. Do you want to delete it? It says if you do, there is no undo, so you better make sure. So I'm going to keep it because I want to use it. So I'm going to go back, and I see this here, but I haven't really added any content to it. So I'm going to go back to Edit Unit Plan. And it should look kind of where we left off, like this tab right here. Notice what's going on here on the right. It's like a stage 1, stage 2. It's different little tabs that kind of takes you through your journey as you start creating your whole course and units. So once we click on, we already clicked Save Changes, so we can go to Next. And inside here, you can start adding your key concepts. And it won't let you go further unless you select certain things. So let's say I select global interaction, or maybe form or communication. Okay, and scroll down. Then I can go ahead and this part is pretty intuitive. You're just going to click on the things that are related to your course. Okay, and then maybe personal and cultural expression. And then you have to write your statement of inquiry. Statement is, okay, and then you have to go ahead and put your line of inquiry. Okay. And then what is the question? You would actually write the correct information there. This is just filler for now. You do have to put in a factual, conceptual, or debatable, or it will not let you go on. So if I try to save changes, I believe it will give me an error here. See, it says, please fill in all required fields below. And I think down here, I need to select one of those. So it'll pretty much tell you if you're missing something. Okay, so once you select it, you can go on to the next button if you'd like, and that would take you into task, or you can just save your changes, and you can just go back, and when you're ready to add your task, you can. So, and just let you know, on this unit here, you have both these tabs. So if you want to go back and edit the summary part, you may. And if you want to edit the inquiry and purpose, you can go ahead and do that. They're really right next to each other. Again, if you don't like this unit, you'll see this little red hyperlink here that will let you delete that unit. So if you go back to your overview, you should just see add task, okay? And we'll cover that in a new tutorial.